Today we're talking about trapezoids and kites. Yeah, you know what a kite is. You go fly it when it's windy. But first off, trapezoid. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral. So we can have a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. Now these sides are called base sides. So as you can see here and up here. So those are the base sides. They are parallel. Now, a trapezoid also has two pairs of base angles. Now, each pair shares a base as a side. As you can see, these two angles right here share this base as a side. Now, the non-parallel sides are called legs. Now, isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid with identical or congruent legs. And we can tell if it's a congruent trapezoid or isosceles trapezoid. As you can see here, we have the hash marks to show congruency. The mid segment of a trapezoid is a segment that connects the midpoint or the legs of the trapezoid. We'll talk more about this coming up. Number 6 we can see right here. So consecutive interior angles are formed by parallel sides. So A and D are what we can consider interior angles, and they are formed by the parallel base up here, so we'll have that base and that base down here. So A and D equals 180. These are both supplementary. And B and C are supplementary, and they add up to 180 also. Now, a trapezoid is an isosceles. If a trapezoid is isosceles, then each pair of base angles is congruent. So A is congruent to B, and C is congruent to D. Now, as we know in an isosceles trapezoid, this angle and that angle are equal, so therefore if we draw straight across, these two legs are equal, so those are that and that, which means that it's an isosceles congruent legs, or we can put congruent base angles also, whatever you want to put. Either of those will work. Now, another issue with trapezoids is that isosceles, if the diagonals are going to be congruent. So that means that AC is congruent to BD. That's all that refers to. We said that these two angles right here add up to how much? Well, yeah, it's 180. They're supplementary. So measure of angle Y, X, and Z. Let's take a look at this. Measure of angle X is the same as measure of angle W, which equals 110. And therefore, these are supplementary. Add to 180. And we say that W plus Z is equal to 180. We said that before. W is 110. And Z is, well, we don't know yet, but we know that these are equal to 180. Wow, I can't write today. That these are equal to 180. So we subtract those, we get 70. Subtract 110 from each side. So we know that measure angle Z is 70, and measure of angle Y and measure of angle Z are the same because they're both base angles. So that means that this is 70 also. Let's see here. Same issue here. We can find out A, B, and C if we wanted to. Measure of angle A is going to be 35 also. Angle B and angle C are both going to be supplementary with this, so which adds to 180. We have 180 minus 35. We're going to get 145 and 145 here. Now, do we really want to go into these? I can tell you the bases. That's going to be the bases. That's going to be the legs. This is going to be the diagonals. This is going to be the opposite angles. See how Q and S are on opposite sides of the trapezoid? And then S and P are base angles. Now, this is the homework. We'll do this in class, so don't worry about this. We have mid-segment. Now, the mid-segment is pretty simple. MN is parallel to BC, and MN is also parallel to AD. Now, if we take those two and add them together, BC plus AD, and divide it by 2, we will get what MN is equal to. I'll give you an example. We have 13 plus 7 over 2. We get 20 over 2 is equal to 10. That's the gist of it. You'll have some of those in class too. A kite is a quadrilateral that has diagonals that are perpendicular. So they make a 90-degree angle. So CA is parallel or perpendicular to BD. Is quadrilateral as a kite, then exactly one pair of opposite angles are congruent also. So in this case, it would be A is congruent to C, so congruent, and that means B and D are not congruent. They're also not equal too, and they're not supplementary, they're nothing. So don't try and assume that B and D are going to be supplementary also. To give you an example right here, so find the measure of S and U. STUV is a kite, so measure or angle S and angle U are congruent, and measure of angle S is equal to measure of angle U. That's all we got to do. So let's do an example here. These are the same, so we can call them the same. So we can call measure of angle S is 2, so let's do it that way. Measure of angle V plus measure of angle T equals 360. We know it's a quadrilateral because it is 4 sides equals 360. So once again, we have that 2 up here, and this is 37, and this is 73 for 360. Now these two add up to 110, so we can subtract them. So this is 250, and this is 2 still. Now we can divide this by 2, we get 125. So measure of angle S equals measure of angle U, which equals 125. Do you want to do another example? Well, what we do here is 2 of X plus 97 plus 139 equals 360. Now, let's take a look here. 97 and 139, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. 6, carry the 1, 2, 3, 136. Wow, I get the cool little announcements too. Oh, 236, sorry. So 236, 360 minus 236. We're gonna have roughly 124 is what those have to be. So 2 measure of angle X is equal to 124. So divided X is equal to 72. I think that's pretty much all I have to talk to you about. Yeah, use that stuff to figure out other stuff. All right, talk to you later.